Hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents may or may not affect our daily lives. Listen, Joe Budden shenanigans have been revealed. And a little housekeeping, y'all, please hit that like button. If you like what you see, subscribe. And once you subscribe, please, excuse me, my eyes are watering. Once you subscribe, you'll be open to a plethora of movies and television series that I have reviewed. Also, my pop culture chats. Listen, if you are familiar with this young man on the screen, Mr. Joe Budden, he has a podcast. He is one of the former rappers that have ventured into the podcast game, and he's been very successful. If you've watched the podcast, you've noticed that there has been a venue change. And so people were trying to figure out because this is the old venue that he had when he was doing the podcast with Rory and Maul. So they have gone back into that podcast space. Uh Recently he has been in what appears to be like a condo. That's what it appears to be. That's been the space that he's been in. And like I said, probably in the past 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, he's been in the original podcast space. Y'all hold on. He's been in the original podcast space. So we were trying to figure out what is going on. What's the shenanigans? Are they redoing the condo? What's really going on? Now there had been some buzz in the air that he had been evicted from the condo, and no one can say definitively that that's what it was. So yesterday I did see that Mr. Budden has been charged for lewdness. So let me read what the let me see if I can get it on here. Let me read what the Edgewater Police Department has said. Let me share my screen. All right, here we go. We have the Edgewater Police Department, and this is an official news press release. It says on December 30th, 2024. On December 4th, 2024, approximately 7:21 a.m., the Edgewater Police Department were dispatched to an apartment complex. Hold on. Excuse me. Were dispatched to an apartment complex for the report from a resident that a man was standing outside of their apartment door completely naked. The caller recognized the man as a neighbor, Joseph Budden Jr., a 44-year-old male. The caller was alerted to Budden by their doorbell camera. The video depicted Budden attempted to enter a code into the door keypad several times before re entering his own residence across the hall. As a result of police investigation, Budden was charged with lewdness, 2C 14 through slash 4A, which is a disorderly persons offense, on a complaint summons. Chief Martin said that these charges are merely accusations and that the defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So he was charged. He was butt naked in the hallway trying to get into his neighbor's home. So let's read what TMZ has written. So that was the official press release that I read. Let's read what the TMZ has written. Are we ready? Joe Budden charged after allegedly standing naked in the hallway, caught on camera. This is 12/31/2024, and again, TMZ does not credit who wrote the thing. I guess it's a community effort. Joe Budden was charged earlier this month after authorities claimed his neighbor saw him outside their apartment on Ring camera footage completely naked. According to court documents obtained by TMZ, Budden was charged on December 4th in Edgewater, New Jersey for lewdness. The Edgewater Police Department released a statement on December 30th about the incident after news of the charge broke online, explaining officers were called to an apartment complex in the area at approximately 7:21, as read. And we've read this from the police department. The caller claims video shows Budden attempting to enter a code into the resident's door keypad several times before heading back to his apartment in the same building. The court complaint says that the resident and two juvenile daughters observed the offense live on their phone. BTW, Budden recently talked publicly about strife with his neighbors, claiming he was kicked out of his apartment for continuing to record episodes of his podcast there. He also previously said on his podcast that he is a sleepwalker, and there is the press release. His attorney, Nima Amira, fired back at the Edgewater Police Department, telling TMZ, Mr. Budden is saddened by Police Chief Martin's press release. Mr. Budden has been waiting weeks for his cross complaint to be processed, which includes substantially more serious charges, including possible felony charges against the person behind these charges against him. The chief has, in our opinion, sat on those, but instead used his time to gain some free publicity for himself. Chief Martin should seek publicity by doing notable policing, not inflaming disorderly person's allegations. All right. The allegations, she adds, the allegation against Mr. Budden are minor charges, not even resulting in arrest. The charge Mr. Budden is looking forward to beating in court on the merits, not in the press. The chief complaints comments are reckless and, in our opinion, racially motivated. Our research has not shown a single press release on a disorderly persons charge on the police website this year. His choice to single out Mr. Budden, in our opinion, is self-motivated and based off Mr. Budden's race and celebrity status. He has Joe Budden has a court date set for next month. All right. So, what do we think about all of this? Let's see. Because again, this is where I was talking about the shenanigans. It was some point that he's got some kind of long going dispute with his neighbors, and it had been out in the zeitgeist that he had been evicted from the apartment complex. So Joe Budden is saying that he has a complaint going up to be put in court for this condo area. So maybe this is the reason why they're back in the initial podcast place that he did with Rory and Maul. So y'all tell me what you think. I didn't want to spend too much time with this. We've read all the information. So the shenanigans have been revealed, that he was arrested for lewdness, that he has a case pending for that, and that he has lawsuits pending against the residents and the condo that house his podcast. Tell me what y'all think about this down in the comments. All right, people, we do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making these videos. And as always, people, bye-bye.